In order for things to change in our community, this has to change. This discussion that Shannon had with Country Wayne is one of the most important discussions that Shannon has done.
How much money do you think you made through social media?
Just social media? Mm-hmm. About 20 million last 3 years. That's when I really started monetizing. Mm-hmm.
Telling jokes, huh? And skits.
It's some skits, man. It's a storyline. I took the TV format, people talking about residual in TV shows, and I minimum, you know what I'm saying? I minimized it to a point of I got my version of that. I'm able to make residuals. I'm making money right now while I'm sitting. And people was laughing at me at first. When I first started doing those skits, people like, oh, them little skits. And I realized Hollywood was always the ad business. Mm-hmm. It never was the movie business. Right. Wherever the eyeballs are at, that's where the money gonna be at. Right. So if I'm looking to my left and the right and people on their phone all day, it's like investing in the stock. I will be stupid to believe that people are watching this more than they watching this. So I'm like, these advertisers finna start pouring this money and I'm gonna be a part of this new generation.
And then I remember watching an interview where Wayne talked about how people told him, you can't, if you're gonna go on tour, if you're gonna go perform in these theaters, you're gonna have to get a comedian with a bigger name to travel with you. Well, he cultivated his following on social media, and then when he hit the road, he was selling the venues out himself, which meant that he didn't have to pay another big name comedian money to sell the venues out because he was selling it out. He was monetizing his audience. In the same interview, y'all might remember when we talked about Taraji Henson, talked about how much she was getting paid. And there was a very interesting exchange in here. Because I know somebody might just sit and go, man, them little skits I see Wayne doing on YouTube and on Instagram and Facebook. Well, listen to this.
Hey, man, to see you know what I'm saying, like my boy Mike Bliss, me and my brother were going through the numbers and I'm like, man, I paid him $1 million this year. You know what I'm saying? And the people that I'll be able to bless. I'm like, man, I'm able to bless everybody, seeing everybody else get their cars and their businesses. I'm proud of being able to bless others, man. When I see that, I be like, dang, I'm like, man, that's what it's about, man. That's the only thing that get me, like, I get excited for them to get more.
Right.
You might remember Terrence Howard talking about how he got paid $12,000 to do Hustle and Flow. You might remember Taraji talking about what she did not get paid for Benjamin Button, I think. How she had to fight to get paid, even for The Color Purple. Country Wayne just sat there and said, one of the brothers in his skits makes $1 million a year doing skits on social media. I want to let that sit in. And I get it. Follow me here. I get how we think, ooh, TV show on Fox. Ooh, you in a big screen movie. But when it all comes down to it, can you pay your bills? It's dollars and cents. So his boy Mike likely has much less overhead than a major actor who's trying to be in television shows and movies. Mike bringing home $1 million a year, doing skits. Again, this did not, and I get it. I get why the Cat Williams interview blew up. 57, almost 60 million views. The Monique interview maybe up to 10, 12, the Steve Harvey interview. But I dare say, we have to stop, let me be perfectly clear, operating in a mindset of white validation. People. Look, I did free appearances on these cable networks for 4.5 years. But see, also while I was doing that, I also was leveraging it with other things that I was doing, selling books, speeches, things along those lines. We have got to change this, and we've got to get out of the notion of giving our content away, allowing folk to pay us minimal amounts of money, then we don't own it. And so then when we no longer can sing, when we get older, no longer can act, guess what? The money stops flowing. But if you've created multiple revenue streams and you've monetized your following, you can then take a seat and still print money. And I spend lots of time, y'all, talking to black people in so many different areas. And too many of us have been conditioned, and I understand it from our parents and grandparents, to get us that nice job, to pay our bills. What then happens when we get laid off?
We're going to continue this conversation. This video is in direct response to that Roland Martin video entitled Roland Dissects Club Shay Shay Country Wayne Interview and the Comedian's Blueprint for Success, as well as Club Shay Shay's interview with Country Wayne. Hey y'all, my name's Halisi.
And I'm Rick. Welcome to our Black Utopia.
On our channel, we talk about money. We talk about travel and retiring abroad. We help folks who look like us, who are getting close to retirement age, get their money straight so that they can retire on time or maybe even early. All right, sweetheart, what are we talking about today?
Today we're going to talk about the lie of Black excellence and making money the old-fashioned way, because the old-fashioned way is just that. It's the old-fashioned way, and it's getting kicked out the door because there's a new way of making a lot of money.
That's right. We got to change the way we think. But first, if you're new to our channel, then you might not know about 8 years ago, Rick and I had a wake-up call. All right. We were getting close to retirement age. We looked at our retirement fund and it looked crazy. But about 4 years ago, we got our financial act together and we went from negative 22,000 in net worth to over 1.1 million. If we can do it, you can do it too, but we've got to change the way we think about things.
Got to.
Right? All right. So we saw the interview with Taraji, right? We saw the interview with Monique, right? And Cat Williams.
Cat Williams telling all the secrets of Hollywood behind the scenes.
Talking about the dish, right? And the thing that was the reoccurring theme, as far as I'm concerned, is this notion that we do not have agency over our own productivity. This notion that in order for us to be successful, in order for us to be classified as Black excellence, we must fit into the white supremacy idea of what success looks like and into their system, no matter the cost.
It has to be validated by them.
Right.
And Country Wayne just proved
otherwise.
Totally different.
Totally
right?
Different. 20 million he made in the last 3 years. 20 million he made in the last 3 years. So, you know, it's funny because Roland Martin's always saying that folks come up to him on the street, right, and say, "Oh, I wish you was still on TV. Wish you was still on CNN.
When you gonna get another TV show?"
So when you are on CNN, when you're on MSNBC as a guest, you do not get paid. You are giving away your brain power for free to help the networks make more money. Not only that, as a Black person, you are then bringing in that audience to validate that this network thinks that what we have to say and what we think about is important, yet the person who is doing that for them is not getting paid. Is not getting paid. So like Roland said, but can you pay your bills?
Right.
But can you pay your bills? And so the problem is when we operate within the system of white supremacy, when we operate within the system of white validation, then there's a ceiling on the amount of money that we're able to make.
I never really thought about it like that before.
But it's true.
It's true.
right? If Taraji is having to, Taraji P. Henson, yes, that actress who is beyond the pale, if she has to beg for money, then what about the rest of them?
She paid her worth.
To get paid her worth. I mean, y'all remember her way back in the day, right? We ain't even, like before Karate Kid. And that was a long time ago, right? I remember her way, way back in the day. Sister Girl has been putting in the work. Why does she have to beg to get paid her worth? Why do you have to still beg to get paid your worth?
Yeah.
And is that what you want to continue to still do? So, you know, if we continue to buy into this old-fashioned way of making money, if we continue to buy into Black excellence, which is buying into white supremacy, there's a ceiling on how much we can make both actively and passively.
Right.
Right? And so we've got to decide what success looks like. Some folks may say, Country Wayne, I ain't never heard of him. Baby boy made 20 million in the last 3 years. I don't care if you haven't heard of him. He's living his life.
He's living his life.
On his terms. On his terms. Do you feel me? On his terms, right?
He's financing his own stuff.
Right?
He's financing Country Wayne movies and everything else on Netflix.
Because he chooses to. Not because he has to, but because he chooses to. Right. And that's key.
And the thing is Netflix pays him a licensing fee. When they came to him and asked, you know, he's not going to them asking if they can invest in his projects. He's like, I don't need your investment. I'll pay for my own costs. You know, so they come to him and they want to use his material,
So it changes the dynamic. You're no longer talent at the table saying, may I be in this movie, please? You are the financier, right? You're coming to the table with product. Do you want it or don't you? Because if not, there are other avenues. You ain't the only game in town. It's a whole different dynamic, right? And I say that to say that, you know, like we were talking to the young man yesterday, Nicholas, right? Who's the entrepreneur, right? And I was saying, like, once you've reached fire, like how you show up at the job looks different. Mm-hmm. Once you can finance your own stuff, like Taraji could finance her own stuff. I don't know what her finances are, but I know she's made enough money to be able to finance her own stuff, as long as she doesn't think it's supposed to look like Hollywood says it's supposed to look like, right? Right? Mm-hmm. Because we've seen multi-million-dollar movies being made for under $1 million.
Oh, yes.
Wasn't nobody getting catered to, but there was food on the set, right? But folks got paid.
Oh, yeah.
Folks got paid. And so we've got to change the way that we think about how money it has to be made. So let's make the case against Black excellence. Y'all, we've talked about this before. But based upon what we have seen in the comments, based upon what y'all are watching, we got to make the case again, because I don't think you get it. And based upon the comments that we got when we were talking about Black folks, what's wrong with Black excellence? We should be excellent. We should be excellent in everything we do. But Black exceptionalism can be conceptualized with this statement. It is the notion that Black people who are educated, smart, articulate, poised, and basically every other positive adjective you can think of as atypical, or rarities among the general Black population. That is the notion of Black excellence. What else?
Black excellence is entwined with the need for white validation. Think about it.
I don't care to be the first Black anything. F them. Because if I'm striving to be the first Black this is the first Black this in their system that was designed to kill us. Stop it. Stop it. The underlying message behind this train of thought is that Black people who are exceptional should not experience discrimination or racism.
Yeah, that ain't going to happen.
Let's ask some Black rappers. Let's ask some Black actors. Let's ask some Black athletes. All of these exceptional Black excellence. Let's ask Barack. You know, Mr. President.
Yeah.
How he has experienced racism even since he has been elected. And we know, because that just plays into Black exceptional and plays into the idea, which is what I was about to say, of respectability politics. For all of you, before you get into my comments, you don't know what respectability politics means, okay? Because you were in our comments before. So let me explain to you. Respectability politics means that if you just keep your nose clean and put your hair, like, you know, wear I don't know what the new wigs are called where you can't tell what it looks like. Y'all
Wigs.
know.
They wigs.
They wig somebody else's hair.
Their
Like if you
hair.
just put your hair straight and wear your pin, and then you affect this type of talk, right? And you pull up your pants, clip off those locks, right? If you just dress the part and keep your nose clean, then you can succeed. That's baloney. That is baloney. White boys can walk around with their pants sagging, copying us, riding skateboards without getting arrested, but our boys can't. That notion that if we dress a certain way, like we did in the 50s and 60s, we marched in the 50s and 60s with suits on.
Oh, yeah.
We marched in the 50s and 60s with bow ties on, hats on, gloves, the whole 9 yards in our Sunday's best, and they still threw the hoses on us, and they still threw the dogs on us. So miss me with that notion. We should be just as raggedy and stupid as they are and still make the same amount of money. We should be, when we will know racism is dead in America, when somebody can be as stupid as Trump and be Black and still get elected. When I said that in grad school, they looked at me like, huh? I don't get it. You don't get it because Barack Obama is exceptional. You talked about all of these great things that he has done, and yet the other two white guys that you elected ain't got none of that.
Oh, yeah.
That's Black exceptionalism. I rebuke it in the name of Jesus. I rebuke it. What's next?
Well, I go with my notes. So Black exceptionalism plays into the idea of respectability politics.
That's what I just said.
Did you?
I just said that,
You
right?
did.
Right?
You
Right? That if Black people act right, they act right, right? They're deserving of decency. They're deserving of, non-discrimination. If we just act right.
But acting right on what day and what is acting right?
Thank you. Thank you. Because they see the color of our skin before they see our behavior.
Right.
Unfortunately. Right. So the next one.
Black exceptionalism encourages Black people to sacrifice their health, mental well-being, and welfare for the sake of greatness. Black excellence is an unreachable peak. Nothing is ever good enough. Black excellence is insatiable.
Insatiable.
Okay.
Right?
I haven't read that word in a long time. There is always one more mountain to climb.
One more mountain to climb. One more mountain to climb. And the thing about, if you watch the whole video, Roland Martin Unfiltered, and you should.
Yes.
The one thing that he probably inadvertently implied is that Country Wayne making 20 million in the last 3 years was not enough, right? Like, oh, that ain't it. He's financing his own stuff. He got Netflix coming to the table. Like, wasn't 20 million enough? That was enough. That's more than the $17,000, right, that Terrence Howard made on Hustle and Flow.
12,000.
12,000, right? That was more than the 500,000 that Taraji made on The Color Purple. Because the bottom line is, no matter what your talent is, no matter what your gift is, no matter what your skill is, you have to be paid what you are worth. You have to be paid what you're worth. And the only way to do that is to be in control of how your skills are utilized. Y'all, we have heard over and over and over, how are you guys doing this? We have heard over and over, what about the money? We have heard over and over, I need to get out of debt. And we have provided you with the tools. Y'all think we're kidding here. When Stephanie Perry said everybody should have a YouTube channel, did Country Wayne just not say it? 20 million, y'all. 20 million.
That was then.
That's in the last 3 years.
That's in the last.
And the interview was just like 2 months ago, a month and a half ago.
And he's still making money.
And he's still making money, right? He's making money while he's sitting there. That's what he said.
Making more money
while he's sitting there. That's all we're saying. We're going to talk about how you can change the way you think about making money. Because for us, yes, as Action BJ says, we're the most retired folks he knows. Yes, we still do YouTube. This is not for sustainability. This is to build further wealth. Right? This is for generations to come. This is the part of the giving back. We black. We always talk about giving back. But somehow giving back and making money cannot coexist. I rebuke that. I rebuke that. Let's see who's in the audience. We're going to go all the way back to the top.
Action BJ.
We're back home.
Yes.
We are home in Lisbon, Portugal. Hit that like button if you find this content interesting. If you find this discussion interesting, y'all, hit that like button. Let YouTube know that this is something that they should be showing to other folks. Right?
I still have a little jet lag. Do you have any jet lag still?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
I was wondering if it was
I do. I do. Look, my girlfriend and I, we went out for a spa day. We had massages, we had facials and all that. Then we had some snacks and some girl time. And so that helped.
I didn't get any of that. I was here. Me and my computer.
Editing that little clip that you saw.
Putting that little clip together. And that is not the full clip. Please go to Roland Martin Unfiltered on Black Star and check out the whole clip and support Roland Martin. As
well as Club Shay Shay. All of that information to both videos are in the description below.
Yes, please.
The link is in the description below. Hey, Helen, how you doing? Hey, Alexandria. Greetings and salutations. You'll be here before you know it. Look, it's already March. I remember saying before we went to LA, before we saw you, saying it's already March, because I knew LA was going to go like that, South Africa like that, and now it's March, right?
Yeah.
It is the first weekend in March. If y'all are in Beyond the Bling, next weekend is the weekend for group coaching. Hey, Diane, good to see you. Hey, Mary, good to see you. This will be the first time in June. Looking forward to it. Oh, good.
Oh.
Good. You know, our meetup, we have partnered with Krishan at Blackset Global. Our meetup is in June 17th and 18th, right around the Juneteenth holiday. So y'all got to come out. June is off the chain here in Portugal. You have to see it. Hey, Kelly. CK's in the house. Shanora. K. Renee, how are you? Good to see you. When y'all coming? We saw you in LA. When y'all coming?
I know.
Right? Hey, Vicky, Ms. Robinson, Tanya's in the house. Hey, Greta, we love you.
Hey, Greta.
Just Don Johnson, which is funny because I always think of D-O-N Johnson, right? KB, Tanya, they're all okay. Y'all have saying hello to each other. Hey, Vanessa, good to see you. Chandra is in the house. Eureka is in the house. Meriton Martin and Greta Cobb.
Hi, Greta.
I'm glad you're not calling yourself Greta number 2 anymore. Yakota is in the house. Hey, Jess. Jametta MT, Mrs. G, Professor Kimmy. Hey, y'all. We love you. We love you. We love you. We thank you so much for being in here. Medic 58. That sounds like a new name.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully you understood what Roland Martin was talking about and what, let's see, Medic. Black actors and athletes have bad representation overspend, thinking the career is going to last forever. No,
Not all.
no. Black folks have bad representation and spend money as if they're going to make it forever. We spend money as if we're going to make it forever in general. I don't know what white folks doing. That is not my problem. I'm worried about our community, right? And so, you know, the notion of financial independence, retire early, right? This is something that we need to get a hold of, and we have to stop being just in the here and now, and think about tomorrow, right? Hey, Auntie Trey, Angie's in the house. All right. So take your pens and pencils out, because we're going to talk about how to change your mindset.
Wayne will be broke in 10 years. He has 5 baby mamas and 10 kids.
Medic VA, let me tell you who we are. This is what we don't do.
Yeah.
What we don't do is talk about other Black folks like they do in America. That's what we don't do. This is our Black utopia. You don't know that man. You don't know that man. You don't know his money.
And he's taking care of whoever
you have no idea what his situation on, what his situation on, and how dare you decide that he does not have the responsibility to take care of the situations that he creates.
Hey, he was smart enough.
Do you have $20 million?
$20
Do you have $20 million that you have earned and made in the past 3 years? Probably the answer is no. Please, on this channel,
don't judge him.
We are about love in the Black community. We're not about tearing folks down. That's not what we're about. We're not about tearing Black folks down. We get enough of that from them. So if that's what you're about, you will be blocked. You're warned. You're warned. All right. So y'all know the thing. If you have, and look, if you unlike, if you unsubscribe, if you do all of that,
that's okay.
That's okay.
That's okay.
This ain't your show. No. This ain't your, this is not for you. But on our channel, on our Black Utopia, this is what we're about. We are about love. And we do not tear people from our community down, period, the end. Unless they've been tearing us down. Like Clarence Thomas. If you want to talk about Clarence Thomas, we can talk about that.
We'll just leave him alone.
But right, like Grandmama said, if you ain't got nothing nice to say, all right. What is the difference in the mindset between people who operate the old-fashioned way versus the 2024 way?
You asking me that?
Yes. Opportunities. Folks who understand how to make money in 2024 view challenges as opportunities for innovation and growth. They tend to see possibilities where the old-fashioned way of making money may see obstacles and are more inclined to take. So we are more inclined to take calculated risks and capitalize on those opportunities, which potentially can lead to substantial rewards, right? So when opportunities arise, in 2024, when opportunities arise, I don't want you to think about it the way we thought about it last century. Think about that opportunity and how it could possibly fit into your lifestyle to make money for you in 2024 versus the old-fashioned way of making money. Was that?
They may view challenges primarily as obstacles to overcome within existing framework, seeking stability and security rather than actively pursuing new opportunities.
Within the existing framework. within the existing framework. That's code for within the existing white supremacy framework. That's what that is. That's what that is. We have to get out of the notion of trading our time for money. We have to get out of the notion of trading our time for money. Our time is so much more valuable than any amount of money most folks would be willing to pay us. What about the long-term vision? I'm going to read the 2024 and I'll let you read the old-fashioned way.
What are you trying to say? Be kind. Be kind.
I love you, sweetheart.
Be kind.
2024 way of making money tend to have a long-term vision for their ventures and are willing to invest time, effort, resources in building something sustainable and impactful. I want to pause because Country Wayne had been out there doing things for a minute before he got to the point of making 20 million. Are you willing? Are you willing to do it the first year for 10,000, the second year for 20,000, the third year for 70,000, the fourth year for 200,000, right? Like there does become that hockey stick. And for Country Wayne, he said it was during the pandemic. No surprise.
Yeah.
Everybody was stuck.
Down.
We're all stuck.
Looking for something to be entertained with.
Right.
And he entertained us.
So from the pandemic to today, 20 million. That could have been you. And that doesn't mean that you have to be a comedian. That doesn't mean you have to be a singer. That doesn't mean you have to be an actor. But every single person who is watching us has something, has a skill set that somebody else wants to know. They have information that somebody else wants to know, right? And so they make this, people who want to make money in 2024 make decisive decisions, understanding the long-term strategy and changing market conditions. One of the things that Country Wayne said was that he never slept Facebook. I hate Facebook.
Well, everybody was trying to tell, people were trying, not everybody, but some were trying to tell him that Facebook was dying.
It was dead.
It was dead.
Forget
It
about
wasn't going to do no good. And then Facebook came along.
Right. So, yeah, but, right? But Facebook, like to hear my son say it, Facebook is dead. But Facebook groups, right? Facebook is dead. But if you have something that is getting the clicks like Country Wayne had, Facebook will come and say, can you do more? And we'll pay you. And that's what they did with him. Right? Can you do more? Please. Can you do more? And he could have decided at that point, yes or no, because he has agency. Would Taraji have been able to say yes or no? Would Monique have been able to say yes or no? Would Cat Williams have been able to say yes or no? They should be able to say yes or no, but I'm not sure that they've put themselves in the position to be able to say yes or no, okay? Because I love all of them. I think all of them are exceptional talents. So it's not about that, right? Like it's not about that, but I understand, especially for, because I don't know how old Cat is, but I remember Monique from back in the day, right? And Taraji has been around.
Williams has been around for a while. Yeah.
Okay, so they are of a certain age. They're all over 40. And those of us who are over 40, over 50, etc., right? There are certain mindsets that we grew up hearing, right? You've got to work twice as hard to get half as much and blah, 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 right? Yeah, if we accept it. If we accept it. So long-term vision for old-fashioned folks, what they talking about?
Old-fashioned way of making money may have more short to medium-term focus, aligning their goals with established career paths and predefined objectives within existing structures. And so their decision-making is also narrowly focused.
If your decision-making is narrowly focused, if your framework, if the way you are viewing it is narrowly focused, then you can't think that there are other ways to get the same results, right? And so it's interesting because I've had a lot of different jobs in a lot of different industries. And I used to call myself jack of all trades, master of none. I rebuke that. I'm the master of all of it. After 50 years of working, the 45 years of working, I'm the master of all of it. And there's something to be said, right? There's something to be said when you have not done the same thing your whole entire life. That's all you know, right? And that will get you, like, if that's you, if you are that person who's had the same exact job for 40 years, you really need to ask yourself if entrepreneurship and or moving abroad really fits your personality. I'm not saying it doesn't because circumstances, but I'm saying, does it really? All right, we're going to get to impact and legacy, but let's see what they're saying in the chat. So CK says, Tim Scott is not exceptional, and yet he was elected a senator in a red state. He is especially not smart. Right? But by the definition of Black excellence, he is, right? There have only been 6, 7, like 8 people now, 9 people, maybe Black elected, not selected, elected, because first he was selected for the United States Senate. And he's one of them. So he is exceptional. No Black people have been elected to the United States Senate since Reformation, except Barack Obama, except Kamala Harris, except Tim Scott, except, and I know some of the others, but I can't think of them right now. Right? He's exceptional, right within that white supremacy framework. Can I get an amen? Black excellence concept is detrimental to our mental health, especially as Black folks, if you're not living at those standards, right? He makes 20 million. That's what he do. That's what he do. So Country Wayne is a content creator, and he is a comedian that, as opposed to doing the circuit and trying to get a Netflix special or HBO special and doing the Chitlin circuit and then moving his way up to the comedy stores and then the this and the that, he just decided, you know what, I'm going to do my own thing and I'm going to do it on social media, because he realized he understood the business of entertainment business, right? He understood that. And once he understood that, then he's like, okay, so what is that next thing? And he figured it out. It was social media. We all knew that. We all knew that. But we could not understand, being old-fashioned thinkers, how can you make money from that?
Right.
How can you make money from that? Right? At the very least, I think our clip showed this. At the very least, you are building an audience so that if you want to sell something, you don't have to go to the boys to say, please, can you help me find an audience to sell my course, to sell my record, to sell my tape, to sell my this, to sell my that? You don't have to do that anymore.
No.
Right? They said in order for you to tour, you need a big name.
Yeah, he needed a big name comedian in order to go on the road and make money to sell out. And he already had his audience. He had his following. He had his audience.
He sold out before he got there.
He was sold
through
out.
social media, right?
Yeah.
And the same can be true for anything, be it a book, be it a course, right? Be it a virtual conference, whatever it is that you have to teach other folks, build your own audience. Take them off of somebody else's platform and into your own email list. That is your audience that you cultivated, that you can then offer services at an unexploitive price
Right.
so that folks find value.
Well, just like he was saying, where are the eyes? Everybody's looking at their. Have you really paid attention when you're out and about? Young people and old people. Everybody's looking at their phone. Everybody's watching content on their phone. Everybody's watching. They want to catch their TV or what do they call it? Binge watch something. You got it on your phone. You ain't even got to go home and watch it on the big TV if you don't want.
Right.
Everything is on your phone.
Right.
Everything is on your tablet. Everything is on your computer. So, you know.
Right. And so,
the eyes are.
right. And so if you understand that, right, if you understand that it is not just the television, because who controls the television? I mean, actually, you could see, Fox TV on your phone today.
Oh, yeah.
Right. But you can see everything else. And so that means Fox TV, Warner TV, ABC, NBC, CBS, etc., is competing with this content. And this content does not necessarily have to be comedy entertainment. Y'all are watching us right now. This ain't comedy.
Yeah. You're watching on your phone.
Right? You're watching on your phone. You're watching on your television. And I'm just saying, right? Sometimes you got to let folks know. And I don't see any more comments. So I guess they're gone. I guess they're gone because they realize I'm not the one. Don't try to play me. I'm not playing now. I'm from South Central LA. And no, I mean, that's not what we're going to do. Okay. So I don't see any more questions. I don't see anything more with a Q in front of it. So we are going to keep going. So we talked about the difference in the 2024 way of making money and the old-fashioned way of making money. Opportunity perception. We talked about that. We should view challenges as opportunities. Yeah. We were in LA and we were getting our condominium, who my mom has lived in for the past 20 years together, right? Well, I said we would have a reveal 3-4 weeks ago. I was showing my friend the pictures today, but actually now that we're getting the floors done, we might as well just do the whole thing, right? Because the floors will be done in the next couple of days. So basically we have redone the whole condo.
Condom?
Condo.
Oh, condo.
That's what I said. I don't know what you heard, brother man. I don't know what you heard. So we basically redid the whole condo. Now, it was challenging. But this was an opportunity that we did not anticipate and we didn't think about. So the person who is taking care of my mom and dad, she said to me, so how big is the place? I'm like, oh, it's about 1,000 square feet, right? And she said, how big is the master bedroom? And so her son had actually taken some of the oversized furniture that my mom had, took it for himself, right? And his family. So there was like a dresser, there was a love seat, there was a credenza, oversized king size bed with this big bulky headboard. We had the nightstands and all of that, plus extra room to walk around. Okay, so it was a big master bedroom, especially big because it's a condo, right? And she said, how many twin beds you think can fit in there? What? Now, what are we talking about? She saw the opportunity to say, because you guys remember, those of you who have been following us, the original plan was to have my mom and dad in that condominium, and I was going to hire someone to take care of both of them. I was going to take that king size bed out, put 2 twin size beds in, and since she always wanted to be his roommate any doggone way, right? How many times did she say that, right? And so that was my idea. She took it to a whole nother level. She's like, we could fit 3. And then we could have in the next thing I know, there is a money-making opportunity above and beyond collecting rent, just rent, right? There's a whole business opportunity. Now, I've got to read the HOA rules and all of that. That's not the point. The point is, do you look at things as challenges or opportunities? It's a challenge to get $3,000 a month for a one-bedroom condo, or it could be an opportunity because it's a certain size, et cetera, et cetera.
Mhm.
It's in a great location, centrally located, pretty grounds, et cetera, et cetera.
Security.
Security is on the grounds, right? Both with the cars and everything else walking around. And so opportunity, y'all.
Yeah.
Impact and legacy. For those who want to make money the 2024 way, they're often driven by a desire to have a positive impact on the community, to leave a lasting legacy that is meaningful, and to address a specific societal need. Y'all know we're on a mission. What's that mission, y'all? What's that mission, y'all? We are on a mission that every free-thinking Black person in America leaves. America needs to feel the pain of a Black brain drain. We will no longer be the whipping boys of America. We will no longer be subservient. We will no longer let you blame us for the fact that y'all don't know how to run a country, that y'all don't know what macroeconomics means, right? We will no longer be blamed for the fact that homeboy who's a high school dropout can't make enough money to take care of his family. That's not my fault. Nor is it the fault of whatever immigrant is coming across that border with or without papers. Hello, right? So we contribute to society. If you think about the 2024 way of making money, that does not mean that you can't still contribute to society. That still does not mean that you cannot have an impact. The two are not mutually exclusive, as opposed to the old-fashioned way of making money.
While recognizing the importance of their contributions, individuals in traditional roles may prioritize personal success and career.
Personal success. I didn't get paid the amount of money. We did not get paid what we should get paid. I did not get paid. I ain't mad at her. Put on your mask first, baby. Put on your mask first. I'm not mad at her. But the two are not mutually exclusive.
Mm-mm.
So they prefer operating within the established systems.
Yep.
Right? It's that stability, risk averse.
Advancement over creation.
Right?
A lasting legacy.
Right. Let me get the promotion. Let me get paid instead of 500,000. Let me get paid $1 million, as opposed to, you know what? Bet I'll create my own thing. Peace out. Yeah. Right. So that's impact and legacy, innovation and change. If you are a modern thinker, if you want to make money the 2024 way, you embrace innovation and change as inherent parts of the journey. All right. We actively seek to disrupt existing norms and challenge the status quo. Y'all know, I started my career in the entertainment industry. I ended my career in politics, and in between, I worked in venture capital. Yeah, I know. None of it makes sense, but somehow God has made it all make sense, right? He has made it all make sense, and it has culminated in what we're doing today. But here's the thing. The way we were thinking about A New Dawn Productions, the way we were thinking about the first incarnation of our business, right? We were doing wedding videos and stuff. The way we were thinking about it was trading our time for money.
Yeah.
It did not occur to us to create something once and then let it make money over and over and over and over and over again. No surprise, we were not actively investing through our 401k. We were investing through our 401k, but not actively. Like we didn't understand, did we? We understood, buy a mutual fund. We knew what that was in general. And we knew that if you leave it in there over time, it was going to make money up or down, eventually it's going to make money and stuff like that. But we didn't understand how we understood today.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
I think we should have, we took the time one time and created a commercial for Nike.
Yeah, we did.
And we never submitted it.
They submitted it.
Did they?
The people that we did it for, yeah.
It
was a contest. I thought it was a great contest. Like we did the stuff, right? We did the stuff. We did that moonlighting. We had our full-time jobs and we were still moonlighting and doing this and that, but we still were thinking in the old-fashioned way that buys into that system. Because even back then, there was still the internet.
Yes.
There was still the internet. And I remember John McAfee, who went crazy, but who was McAfee Security, invested in something that I was involved in. And I remember pitching him YouTube in 1998. Had I had the money. Had I been Country Wayne, I wouldn't have needed McAfee. I would have done it myself.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So our resource utilization.
Well, no, we didn't hit the old-fashioned.
Innovation and change.
Yeah. So they're more comfortable with stability and incremental changes.
Incremental changes.
Incremental changes. Preferring to operate within established systems and processes, working on execution rather than innovation.
All right. So instead of trying to find a new way to do stuff, the people who think about making money the old-fashioned way are more about doing the thing. How can we do the thing better? How can we do the thing faster? As opposed to how can we do the thing differently in a way that's easier and still makes the same amount, if not more money? How are you thinking about things? How are you thinking about things? All right. Resource utilization. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 more. So we went through opportunity perception. We went through long-term vision. We went through impact and legacy. We went through innovation and change. How do you utilize your resources? And this is important because people think, I can't start no YouTube channel. I don't have a camera. I don't have this. I don't have that. All of these excuses not to do the thing that is going to make your life easier because it's scary, because you've got to put yourself out there, because there's a chance that you may not reach the goal that you set for yourself, because don't nobody else care. Yeah. Don't nobody else care. So if you set the goal of being monetized within a month, let's just say, and you're not, then I'm a failure.
Yeah, no, you're not. No, you're not. So no, you're not. And $20 million in 3 years, and all he used was iPhones. They didn't go out and buy fancy red cameras, which a lot of you don't know what is. Red cameras, ARRI cameras, all kinds of film, and they didn't use anything. They don't even edit. They just shoot on a camera direct. Because your phone has the best cameras
out there.
You got 4K.
High definition. Both, right? You got both HD and 4K right here. You've already spent all that money on this thing and you got this camera. That's all you need. And we're filming right now on our laptop of a computer that is 2.5, 3 years old.
Yeah.
Right?
You don't need a whole lot of anything.
Right? So take advantage of the resources that are available. They tend to be resourceful and creative in utilizing available resources. They may see value in leveraging networks, partnerships, and unconventional solutions to overcome challenges. That is collaboration over competition. Okay. That doesn't mean that every relationship has to be transactional. That's not what I'm saying. That's definitely not what I'm saying. But if any of you saw the movie I want to say it was Antonio Banderas was in it, and it was probably his first. No, he wasn't. He was in the remake. He was in the second iteration, but the first one was made by a director. I can't remember these names anymore. I used to know this stuff by heart. Antonio Banderas did the second version, and it was like A Bad Day in Mexico or something like that. It was called
Mariachi.
El Mariachi. El Mariachi. You knew what I was talking about. The person who made El Mariachi, which was a multi-million-dollar film, it made millions. Robert Rodriguez used the resources that he had available. I want to say he made that film for under $500,000.
Way under 500,000.
Feature film made for under 500,000. He looked around and he said, okay, what do I have? I've got Auntie owns a bar in the middle of nowhere that's broken down. Uncle has a bus. Okay. And then I've got this land, and cousin so-and-so and them, Big Pookie and them got what they got.
Hey.
I've got this idea. So I'm going to take this idea and write a script based upon taking places in the area, in the places where I can film for free. That's what he did. And Sony Pictures picked it up. People who know how to make money the modern way see the resources that they have available and find a way to make money with them.
Mm-hmm.
Look in your closet, babies. What clothes do you have that still have the tags on them?
See, and what was said, the guy that was on, or whoever it was, guy or lady who was on earlier talking about he has all these kids and he has all these baby mamas. Well, he does take care of his baby mama and his kids, and he buys, each of them have their own home.
Oh, you saw the whole thing, so you know that.
Yeah, and I know that. And if you watch the whole Roland's tape, you'll see that he says, that's my studios. All those houses and stuff that they live in, I can record and film in each and every one of those houses. Those are my studios.
E.g. tax write-off.
So
don't sleep that.
Don't sleep it.
Don't sleep that.
Don't sleep it.
Because you listen to the way he talks and the fact that he does not necessarily always have the vocabulary to express what he was trying to say. He got a little twisted there, but the man's brilliant. I knew what he was saying. A little bit could have been nervousness because he's on Club Shay Shay and blah, 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 whoop-de-woo, right? Either way it goes, the man has all these houses that he's bought for baby mamas. But if he films there, it's now a tax write-off.
A location and a tax write-off.
People who understand the 2024 way of making money understand the resources that they have available and utilize them accordingly. Everything around you becomes an opportunity and a resource to help you do the thing that you're trying to do.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Number 6, relationship with failure.
Did we do old-fashioned on resource utilization?
Customers working within the predefined structures and utilizing resources as they're meant to be utilized. The bar is meant for a bar. We can open another bar, or we could use it as a set. The condo is meant to be a condo. We could use it as a condo and rent it out long term. Or we could see if we could make that a board and care and have 2 or 3 people who are not related necessarily live there and have another person live there to take care of them. Now, instead of just getting that 3,000, we get 3,000 times 3. Understanding how to utilize the resources that you have at your disposal in unconventional ways. If you think old-fashioned, a condo is meant to be rented out. You either Airbnb it or you rent it out long-term. Maybe you do executive stay and that's it.
Yeah.
Y'all get it. Y'all see where we're going with this, right?
Change your way of thinking.
Change your way of thinking. Change your way of thinking about failure. We talked about this a few weeks ago, but it's worth repeating. There's new folks who are watching. If you find this information good, please like this. Let YouTube know that this is something that other folks who look like us need to see. In 2024, those folks who are trying to make money the new fashioned way view failure as a part of the learning process, right? And as stepping stones to success. We've talked about that. They are resilient in the face of setbacks and use failures as opportunities to iterate and then to adjust. To iterate and adjust. So I love how Stephanie puts it. She puts it as practicing in public.
Yeah.
Very simply, just practice in public. It's okay.
It's all right.
It's okay. It's okay not to be perfect. Y'all know. Y'all remember. Where's Professor? She remembers when we had.
Some people can hate you. Some people are going to love you. They're going to be with you. They understand. It's okay. It's okay because nobody's perfect.
That's right.
No one's perfect.
That's right. And some of you have hung with us through the sound issues, the echoes, and everything else, right? But you're still here. And that's from
me fumbling over words.
And that's from 300 subscribers to 41,000 plus, right? Practice in public, right? Change your relationship with failure. But in contrast, if you think old-fashionedly, if you are still stuck in the system, how do you think?
You know, they take more of a risk-averse approach. You know, number one, perceive failure as something to be avoided. Failure is not something to always be avoided, you know. Associated with negative consequences. Accordingly, they stay stuck in planning mode and never move to execution. Because it's not good enough. I got to get it just right. I got to, you know, I'm still putting it together. I'm still putting it together.
And there's two ways to look at that. It's either a fear of failure or it's perfectionism, right? Either way, it equates to the same thing. Either way, it equates to the same thing. And perfectionism, for those of you who call yourself Christian, perfectionism is a sign of the devil. It's the sign of the enemy. I'm just going to say, all right? Because that will keep you stuck on stupid. No one was perfect. No one's ever going to be perfect. So stop it. Just stop it. Just stop it. Strive for excellence. Strive for always getting better. Strive for competing with yourself, right? Just like we do with exercise and everything else. Today, I'm going to do 10 sit-ups. Tomorrow, I'm going to do 12. The next day, I'm going to do 15. We're not going to get up and do 100 sit-ups in a minute. No. That's like, really? But yeah, when it comes to things that we view as intellectual as opposed to physical, we're supposed to be able to do that 100 sit-ups in a minute, right off the bat.
Yeah.
And if we can't do that, I don't want to do anything.
Exactly. You jump up, you get gung-ho, you jump into something, and professional people will say, take your time. Ease yourself into it, because if you rush yourself into something and you don't do what you think you should do, you're going to walk away from it.
That's right.
You're going to give up.
That's right.
And it's not about giving up. It's about, you know, taking a little bit at a time and letting it gradually come about. Before you know it, you're there.
You're there. You're there at excellence. You'll never be perfect. You'll never be perfect. But Black excellence says that we're supposed to be, right? God forbid that, what's her name? Simone Biles, like not say, you know what, this is too much pressure. Y'all are expecting me to be perfect. I just did something that no one else has done ever in the history of the Olympics, and you give me a 6.6? But now you want me to go out there and do it again? And when she said no, well, now they're talking crap.
Yeah.
Now they're talking crap.
She stepped away from it.
Do not buy into it.
No.
Do not buy into it. F them and their Olympics. They're just mad because we done took over gymnastics too. like we took over tennis, like we'll take over everything if given the chance. I'm sorry, don't get me started. Autonomy and control, this is my issue. I realize, I don't know if it's the Leo in me
Probably.
or the only child in me. I mean, I have sisters, but I was raised as an only child. I don't know, y'all. But autonomy and control in the 2024 way of thinking about things. Look, I've always valued autonomy and control over my ventures, over my decisions. I know what I'm doing. Just let me do it. Tell me the end result that you want and the budget, and then get out of my way. But you know how folks are. That ain't gonna work. And that was my problem. My mom's like, your problem is you just want to be the boss. Yes, I do. Because I know what I want to do. And if it doesn't work, then who am I going to blame? But when I do something, when I have to make a decision that is on me, yet the boss has to okay it, and then they they take my glass and make it into a mug, and then the mug fails. Halisa, you failed. No. I didn't present a mug. I presented a glass. You changed it because you said blah, 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 and now it ain't working, but I get blamed. No, that ain't me. That ain't me. So making money the 2024 way. Those folks understand that they have to make decisions, and they're good with it. They are good with making decisions and taking responsibility for the consequences of those decisions, right?
Yeah.
They enjoy the freedom to make those decisions.
Well, old-fashioned way is kind of not that way at all.
The opposite.
They find comfort in working within established hierarchies, where decision-making is distributed across various levels.
You
look for somebody else to make that decision for you, play it safe, because, you don't want to fall flat on your face or get blamed for something. So, we try to, the old-fashioned way of making money is the safe route. Try to be on the
keep your head down, wait for that pension, get that bonus.
And where roles and responsibilities are clearly defined, but in our reality, it doesn't happen that way.
No,
because no matter how roles are clearly defined, they always change.
They do change.
They change, and they change for those people that get to make those decisions because they can make the rules.
In their best interest, right?
In their best interest.
Okay, so I want to pause there, because if you are the type of person who is risk averse, if you find yourself falling into that old-fashioned category, that is okay. Realize that there is a ceiling on how much you can make from your talents. And that's okay. If that's who you are, you will then have to put extra money into the stock market to make that money. Okay? That's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to put money into those traditional routes, maybe even real estate, right? To make that to make that country Wayne money. That's what you're going to have to do. It's not going to be as quick. It is not going to be, you will not necessarily have as much fun. Maybe you will, because if you don't like to do all of this stuff, if you don't like to make decisions, if you just want to set it and forget it, put it in that total stock market index fund and forget it, and you're good with putting 65, 75% of your income into that, more power to you. I'm not saying that. But if you want to make big money, if you want to make that baller money, that's a slower way to do it. And the majority of the people who are watching this channel might not have the time for that. If you're still only 40, if you're 35, you can do it through the stock market, through those safe bets. But if not, maybe not. Maybe not, right? So, and that's okay. And that's okay. You're just going to have to change your expectations. So the last one, we've talked about autonomy and control. We talked about leaving a legacy. What else did we talk about? We talked about your relationship with failure, how you utilize resources. We've talked about your long-term vision and the perception of opportunities. Last but not least is the sense of purpose. And this is really important to me, because y'all know when we started this YouTube channel, we started it for a couple of reasons. One is because the job was killing me. And working 70 hours a week and having to be a caretaker for my dad, and then everything else about life, life showing up, it was too much. It was too much. And I was making above average money, not six figures, but above average money. And still, it doesn't matter how much money you make if it's killing you, does it?
No.
Does it? So when we started this channel, we started it for two couples that we often talk about.
Mhm.
We went to church with, right? And we also socialized a lot with outside of church on our own, right?
Even took trips with some.
Took trips with some, went to their homes for birthdays and this and that and the other, and generally supported each other for the last decade.
Mhm.
And these two couples have always made more money than Rick and I have made collectively. Those two couples collectively made more money collectively than we did. And it was obvious. And yet they're still working so hard 2 years after we've retired. And so our purpose was to give folks like that an opportunity to learn that they don't have to continue to do that. They don't have to continue to do that, because no one told us how to do this thing. No one told us, right, how we could retire without having, what did Susie Orman say? Like $9 million in the bank.
Millions.
Millions upon millions, right? No one showed us how to do this. So, okay. So our mission and purpose at the time, our sense of purpose was for folks, for hardworking Black folks, who've been doing the thing, who've been striving for that Black excellence and doing all of the stuff, right, that we're told we're supposed to do.
Right.
Okay, now you're plus 50. It's time to relax. Why are you guys still working so hard? That was like our third video that we did, right? Why are y'all still working so hard? And so our purpose was to bring some ideas to folks who looked like us, that there was another way, that you did not have to work yourself to death. And I say it that way because that's America. That's the system. That's the system. They will extract every ounce of talent from those actors and those singers that they can. And then when they deem them too old, too ugly, too fat, too whatever, peace out. Peace out. If my friend who is the senior executive at blah, 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 Acme Association or whatever corporation, right? If they find out they can hire someone right out of grad school for half of his pay,
Oh, they will.
Peace out. Good luck, God bless. Good luck, God bless, right? So our purpose is to make sure that folks who look like us understand that they do not have to be cogs in the system, that there is another way, and that you can have financial freedom. And when you have financial freedom, you have choices. And you no longer have to put up with the BS that you're putting up with today. Because I tell you, I remember when we went to dinner when we first got here with Joe, White Boy Joe.
Yes.
White Boy Joe is from America, so me, Tawana, and Rick, and then White Boy Joe, we're all at dinner at an African restaurant, and we're talking as if he's one of us, because hey, you in our crowd, right? And we're talking about racism, we're talking about white supremacy, we're talking about all the things that we don't have to deal with anymore now that we live in Portugal, and we feel so blessed and fortunate. And he sat there and he's like,
He was like amazed,
I,
mystified.
I ain't never heard no conversations
never.
like this
Yeah.
before. I said, oh, that's because no one at this table needs you for their job. No one at this table needs you for their financial security. We don't like you, there's no one for you to call to get us fired. There's no cancel, culture here. You can't do it. You can't do it. So that's why we can speak freely, right? And so that too is the ability to be free is part of our purpose. We want to give that freedom to every single person who is watching right now.
Yeah.
All 260 of you, right? Are there 260 likes? Are there 260 likes? As opposed to the old-fashioned folks and their sense of purpose is more based upon what?
Their roles, individual and traditional positions, may place a higher emphasis on stability, job security, and financial stability.
So basically what we're saying is if you are still thinking the old-fashioned way, you're probably dealing with fear. You heard over and over again, the stability, the systems, the status quo. All of that comes from a place of fear. So I know
and that's kind of passed down. I mean, just like Roland said, our grandparents, our parents, and everybody instilled that in us.
Yeah.
Get that good job.
Get that good white folk job.
And but what happens when you get laid off?
I have been laid off of 80% of the jobs that I've had since I graduated from undergrad way back in the 80s. I have been laid off of 80% of the jobs, especially when I worked in the entertainment industry. I think I got laid off of every single job that I ever had in the entertainment industry. Every single one. This company is buying out that company and there's duplicates and why do I got to go? There's a duplicate on the other side. Fire her, fire him. Like, why is me? I wonder. Is it because when they asked, so Halisi, what do Black people think about such and so and so? And I got indignant. Is that why it's me? So who's SD?
Yeah, who's SD?
You hands is white. You hands is white. Skin at this time was perfect. Survive. We have an election coming up here in Portugal next week. It'll be interesting to see how this goes down. But one thing that is abundantly clear when we talk about what we talk about is that it makes some folks very uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. And it probably makes them uncomfortable because they know good and doggone well that they have privilege that is undeserved. And it makes their skin itch, right? It makes their butt itch. Because they know deep down inside, like we know, right? Like they're not stupid. They know subconsciously, they know they do not deserve. That's why when anti-racists ask white people, would you trade places with a Black person? They always say no. Well, why not if there's no racism?
Yeah.
If there's no racism, why wouldn't you change places with me? They wouldn't even trade places with Beyonce. Do you all recommend places to stay and meet and greet? I'm sure you said that. I'm just late to the party. Hey, Amber, send us an email, babe. Send us an email, hello@ourblackutopia.com. And there is a video that we did on Airbnbs and places to stay. Our favorite areas to stay in, and you can download that map so that when you're on Airbnb, you can refer to the map. All right, all of that is under Airbnb do's and don'ts. I've spoken to several Black Christians who have jumped on the illegals hate wagon. Clearly, they've forgotten that the same things being said about immigrants were said about us and are still being said, Pinky, right?
Yes.
It amazes me. It just amazes me. The people who thump that Bible and shout hallelujah forget that the Bible is a love letter from God to his people, to her people, to their people. And yet all you're spewing is hate.
That's it.
All you're spewing is hate. Yeah. And then you wonder why the church is dying. You wonder why ain't nobody going to church. That's why. That's why. That's what we do. That's what we do. But that's not what we're going to do going forward, right? That is not what we're going to do going forward. I want y'all to, when Stephanie Perry said everyone should have a YouTube channel, she was not kidding. She was not kidding. This notion that you now have access to distribute across the globe, y'all, do you understand this did not exist 30 years ago? Take advantage of it. Figure it out. What do you have that people want? Make that money become free and join us out in these international streets. Join us. Do that one. Tanya, at least I put some clothes on Poshmark.
Okay.
That's more than I did, girl. Tanya, I had planned to put clothes on Poshmark.
What's Poshmark?
It's so you can resell designer clothes on Poshmark.
Oh.
And I mean, I had, I don't know who that, Goodwill, I don't know. I ran out of time. So if you are planning, if you are planning your move and you're talking about, I'm gonna sell this, I'm gonna sell that, do it now. Follow Tanya. Do it now because it gets busy, and the closer you get to move date, and then it's this and this, and then you realize, oh my God, there's still so much to do.
You don't have no time to do it.
I just got a call from my mom's caretaker saying she needs new shoes. I just gave away shoes that were barely worn because I told her to pick her favorites. And I trusted that she picked her favorites. And I think she picked her most comfortable, which means the ones that are all broken in and the heels worn down and all that stuff. I'm like, are you telling me I got to buy new shoes when I just gave away shoes? Do it now, y'all. Do it now. You can also write off part, I think you meant WRIT off part of your rent by filming YouTube. Same with filming travel content.
Yeah.
Once you have your business, it's amazing what you can write off. What is a business? A legitimate business expense, right? We're not tax people. Talk to your tax person, but it is amazing what you can. Like Country Wayne said, he films in every one of the houses that he owns. That means every single house, instead of being that second home that you get taxed on, now becomes a studio. It's a tax write-off.
And I'm sure he owns each and every one of those houses.
Even baby mama houses.
Even baby mama houses.
Would you mind recapping the June meetup in Portugal before you sign off? I am retired, would like to coordinate with my family reunion in DC in July. So we have partnered with Blacksit Global to give you not only the Move to Portugal Summit replays, but also our meetup, which is June 17th and 18th. It's a 2-day affair. We will be selling tickets to each day separately at some point. We're still finalizing some things. Right now it's a package and it's at the lowest price it will ever be right now. So if you want to come in June, I suggest if it's a scouting trip, just come for the whole month of June. Just do that. Just do that. Right? Enjoy all the street festivals. Look at the video that we did about the street festivals in June and see how much fun it is. Yeah, it is off. It is just so much fun. And it's not just about, people in the street partying. It is the the family atmosphere, the wholesome atmosphere, the smiles, the vibe. It's on another level. It's just on another level. The best thing outside of Jesus is compound interest. I love it. I love it. I love it. That's all we're saying, right? You've got your choice. You've got your choice. And I bet you dollars to donuts, if you talk to Country Wayne, that a good portion of that 20 million is invested in the stock market. I bet you. He ain't no fool. He ain't no fool. Once you understand how the system really works, it's an eye-opener. And you can start doing things to benefit you and not the system. I equate it to the Wizard of Oz. Once she pulled back that curtain and saw that Oz was just an old man with some levers in his hand, right? Trying to make some cameras and projectors work and all of that nonsense, then you I've been subservient to that all this time. That nonsense?
Yeah.
That nonsense? No. No. Oh, babies, no. No, the king has no pants on, babes. He has no pants on. And I'm going to tell you, if you think he does, we will see after 2024 election. Primaries are going on right now. I've got to vote. I've got my electronic ballot. I get to vote in Colorado. Thank God for our blessed Secretary of State who has made it so easy, and
I voted.
He's already done it. Did he remind me? No, he didn't. No, he didn't. All right. A few more questions.
It was the late night too. I think you went to bed.
Had I?
Yeah, when I voted.
I'm packing my luggage for scouting trip in June, just in case. All right. All right, Greta. We're waiting for you.
Yep.
We are waiting for you. I have retail women clothing all new on Poshmark, but only a few people purchase them. How do I get people to purchase? I want to get rid of them. I would take pictures of them and send them through Facebook. Put them on Facebook. Keep posting them on Facebook to the people that you know who like those kinds of clothing. You're going to have to do some marketing yourself. Put them on Instagram, put them on Facebook, and say, hey, this is the stuff I have on Poshmark, y'all. This is the stuff. You know what I pay. You know how I roll. Y'all better get this stuff. It still got tags on it. Some of it doesn't. Blah blah blah. Whoop de whoop. Right? Do the marketing yourself. You have your own friends group, and some of those folks, little do you know, are buying secondhand if they're smart, especially when it comes to designer stuff. So, June in Mexico. Okay, Greta. All right. Say hello to our friends down there. Say hello to my friends. We already know. We already know. So we are saving space in our calendar for UV because we already know that you will be here. All right, y'all. Did we do it? Did we do it? No other questions? I don't see any other questions. Thank you so much from Oakland, CA. Callie's in the house. That's right. That's right. All right, y'all. Look, Rick showed us this video, showed us me and him, basically this video. And it wasn't necessarily to say that we should do a show on it. One of the reasons why we chose not to take a break and to get into YouTube right away is because of the money-making opportunities. Because even though we went from negative 22,000 to over 800,000 in net worth, we are still building wealth because y'all know we got started late, right? We didn't start this in our 40s. We didn't even start this in our early 50s, right? We didn't start until I was after 55, really getting our financial act together. So we are still in wealth building creation mode, which means that what we have is enough for our lifestyle. But if we want to do more, if we want to pass down more, then we need greater wealth. Okay. So that's what that looks like. And I remember seeing not Country Wayne, but another content creator talk about how much she was making. And I was like, I worked in the entertainment industry. I understand distribution and I understand residuals. So, you know, those who work in the entertainment industry, if you did it and you did it via a union like SAG, like Screen Actors Guild, you get residuals. And so every single time the episode plays, every single time the commercial plays, etc., you get a portion of that money that is being made.
You were still getting money from Mr. T.
I did Mr. T cartoon. I still get money today from Warner Brothers from doing the Mr. T cartoon. It's minimal. It's minimal compared to what Warner Brothers is getting to license that cartoon wherever they're licensing it. It is minimal, like laughable. Like half the time I don't even cash the checks. I take a picture of it because it's kind of funny. But you know, but YouTube does the same thing, and that's what he was trying to explain. Country Wayne was trying to explain. Like, he has simplified the process. He saw that they were getting residuals. That means that they filmed the show, right? And now they're asleep, and it's 10 years later, and it's showing on Boomerang or showing on another network, and they're still getting paid. How can I replicate that without buying into that system? YouTube. The person who started Thinkific started with one course. He was teaching people how to pass the LSAT. He was teaching people how to pass the LSAT. And he took what he taught, put it in a package, called it a course, and sold it, and made so much money. He started the platform Thinkific, which is now one of the largest virtual education platforms on the globe.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you have more questions and you'd like to book a call with us, that information is below. You can book a call with us and we can show you how to change your skills, your talents, your passions into something that will provide extra income. What to watch next? We just did a video called Need to Increase Your Income Quickly? Do this. We did it about 4 weeks ago. Y'all liked it. We did some coaching on air or, you know, live. We did coaching, people's side hustles. Go check that out. Look at the thought process so that you can figure out how to take that same thought process and put it towards what you are doing, right? I told you our meetup is June 17th and 18th, the Portugal Virtual Summit. Some of you guys have been calling us to get information on how to move to Portugal, and you haven't done the Move to Portugal Virtual Summit. It's cheaper.
And all the information is right there.
It's cheaper to do the Move to Portugal Virtual Summit than it is to book time with us. I'm just trying to tell you. I'm just trying to save you some money.
Unless you just want to talk.
Unless you just want to talk to us, right? All right. All right, y'all. That's it for what we have today. We have to reject Black excellence. It is buying into white supremacy. There is a new way to make money, and we want you to get on board. The sky is the limit. The sky is the limit. Millionaires are being created. Billionaires are being created, and you need to be a part of it. We love y'all. Bye.